Hello, good evening. It's News 360 coming to you live from the News Hub here at Adesawe Kanda. I am Portia Gabo.
And I am Martin Esedudate. Here are the headlines for this evening.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Flamingo Paint
and Napa Foods, Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Coil.
Tonight, governing New Patriotic Party Steering Committee in crunch meeting as 9 flag-bearer aspirants oppose the decentralized Special Delegates Congress.
Meanwhile, supporters of the party have stormed the meeting venue to protest the Special Delegates Congress original plan.
Also coming up, National Association of Graduate Teachers (NAGRAT) urges the Ghana Education Service to ensure schools get their supplies to keep them running.
Coming up in business news, ahead of the mid-year budget review on July 25, the Association of Ghana Industries calls on government to scrap the COVID-19 health recovery levy.
On the international front, Kenyan President William Ruto praises the police for ensuring peace amidst opposition protests. We have details of all these stories and many more. Be a part of the show. We'll be happy to hear what you think of them. Details now.
Yes, and the steering committee of the governing New Patriotic Party is in a crunch meeting as 9 flag-bearer aspirants are opposed to a decentralized Special Delegates Congress. They argue that decentralizing an election of only 900 voters will not be a wise decision. Noble Crosby Annan is at the venue and reports.
Before the all-important meeting of the steering committee of the NPP comes to an end here at the Alisa Hotel, there's this group of sympathizers of the NPP made up of some executives of the party at the various local levels. So what exactly are the concerns of these sympathizers of the NPP? As you can see written on the various cards they are holding, you see no victimization, no intimidation. Super delegates must be at one location. There's also the claim that breaking the aid must start with a centralized Super Delegates Congress. Also, if we can put 6,500 people at one place, why not less than 900 people? So these are some of the concerns or the reasons they are citing for wanting a centralized Super Delegates Congress. Let's speak with them, a couple of them, and find out exactly what is motivating them to push for this agenda. What exactly are your concerns here?
It's about the special voting. We as a group, we have witnessed a lot of elections like that. And being the party for some time now, we thought it is otherwise the election is taken at one place, and not to split it into regions.
Okay. Why are you opposing it?
We are opposing it because we want the thing to be done at one place so that the monitoring and everything will be set. You know, when elections are taken at various areas, the attention cannot be focused on a particular place. But when it is at one place, we can focus our attention and make sure we monitor the election the way it's supposed to go. Who wins, wins. We are not behind anybody.
We are NPP people, basically, from various constituencies in the Greater Accra. We've converged here to send a message to our leaders. Basically, they are meeting here to decide on the party, taking a decision about the special voting and other matters. And we have information that they are deliberating, thinking of decentralize the special voting process. And we are against that.
Why are you against decentralizing?
Yes, why are they trying to do that at this last moment? We should have been informed if that is the rules, so that we all know. You know, various people have various doubts about our leaders, the way they've compromised themselves in supporting one candidate. And so in clearing any doubt about it, they should do it at a congregated place so that we all have our peace.
But if they don't centralize it and they decentralize it, how will that affect your?
Oh, basically, the first one is finances. You know, it costs a lot to employ people to man the voting process. And so if you are going to hire people to go around the regions, manning the boxes and the voting process, it costs a lot. And so it will add to the cost of the aspirants. Already they are having problems with the finances. And so we are saying that why don't you centralize so that it will erase any doubt about the leaders being supporting one candidate.
And we are told that some activity is still ongoing. That steering committee meeting is still ongoing at the Alisa Hotel. Let's cross over live and speak to Evelyn Tingmam, who's been there since afternoon to gauge the mood for us. Evelyn, what's happening?
Now, the National Council of the MPP is meeting, and earlier we had a National Executive Committee meeting, and they closed their meeting around 4 p.m. thereabout for the National Council to begin with its meeting. So as we speak, the National Council of the MPP is meeting, and in these two meetings we had the various aspirants, apart from Boachie Jako and Alan Chemating, who are not in this particular meeting, but of course their representatives are here. The rest of the aspirants are in this particular meeting, and of course we have some members of parliament as well as other party executives in this particular two meetings. Well, Martin, the main concern has to do with the venue for this particular election, that's the Super Delegate Congress, and of course some are advocating for them to have a centralized point where they can have the elections instead of having a decentralized one. And of course, we've had some of the aspirants and supporters of the party raising concerns about where exactly this election Superdelegate Congress should be held. And of course, that is the main concern. And we are told that the National Council will have to take this decision as to how this election will go, whether it will be a centralized one or decentralized one. Some of the party executives or the NEC executives that we spoke to after their meeting, we wanted to find out what the concerns were in that particular meeting, but I was told that the NEC or the National Council will have to take this particular decision because they are the super body which will take care of this particular election. And so we are waiting for the National Council. They are still in the meeting. We are waiting for them to be done with this particular meeting, and then we know the way forward, whether it will be a centralized point to hold this particular super delegates elections, or it will be a decentralized one, which many of them are opposing to. So we're just waiting for the meeting to be over, and then we can talk to some of the members in there, Martin.
All right. Thank you very much, Evelyn Tingma, with that update from the Alisa Hotel here in Accra, where the leadership of the New Patriotic Party, the steering committee, I should say, are meeting to decide the fate of how the August 26th election would be. Let's engage the thoughts of Professor Ransford Jampo, who is a professor of political science, University of Ghana. Prof, good evening. Thank you for your time.
Hi, good evening, Martin. Thanks for having me.
Right. What are your immediate analysis of the current development where 9 of the 10 aspirants want a different process of a centralized voting as against what the party initially proposed, which would have been a decentralized one in all 16 regions?
Do you know the 9 of the aspirants? Is it all of, who are the 9 and which of them is the outlier?
Yeah, so it's all the 10 minus Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Oh, okay. Well, it almost looks like then there is a 9 aspirant ganging up against the vice president. But you see, in my view, it is the referee of the game and the organizers of the Special Delegates Congress who must determine the rules that all the aspirants must adhere to. But if they've chosen to open up the decision for aspirants to also have a say in determining how the delegates, special delegates conference will have to be held, then to my mind, it should be by a majority decision. And so if majority wants a centralized special delegates conference, so should it be. And it is important that we note that the idea of holding a decentralized delegate conference is not by law of the party. It's not something that is enshrined in the laws of the party. It is only something that they themselves have evolved by way of convention, and in my view, it can be valid if the aspirants believe that that is the right way to go. Because as far as I'm concerned, it is an intervention, if it is valid, it will help the party to save costs. It would also help the aspirants to be able to easily assess all delegates and outline or market their policy prescriptions and what they intend doing for the purposes of convincing the delegates at a goal to give them the nod. Again, it would also serve as a good mechanism to prevent the victimization of regions that may vote in a certain way that may not go in favor of whoever may emerge victorious. And so, like I said, if the party has thought it wise to open up the debate for all the aspirants to be able to have a say in this, then it should be by majority decision. And if that is what the majority prefers, then I think it's a democracy.
Right.
It will be a way of deepening the internal democracy of the party. So it should be by majority decision.
And Prof, wouldn't that then be that the leadership of the party, i.e. the steering committee, clearly then they will be pandering to the pressure of the 9 or the supporters of the 9 who had petitioned them that we don't want the process of a decentralized one, meaning they are buckling to the pressure, isn't it?
Well, it would not be undemocratic to pander to a view being held by a preponderant majority of the people who are also stakeholders in a key decision-making, like how that delegate conference will have to be organized. It would not be undemocratic. And so if they pander to the views of the majority, so be it. So as I indicated earlier, originally it is within the domain of the organizers of the conference to determine the rules that must guide the conduct of the conference, and all must adhere to it. But if they have thought it wise to open up the decision-making process to give all other aspirants a say in determining the way forward, then I think that the voice of the majority must hold sway.
Right. And finally, Prof, could this disadvantage Dr. Bawumia in any way, considering the fact that he's the only one out of the 10, and not necessarily him, but it looks like his camp has not agreed to this petition by the other 9. Could he be disadvantaged in any way?
I don't think, it will be childish and naive and but for anyone to think that but merely organizing a centralized special delegates conference disadvantages anybody. Then it means that the person has not even done his homework well. I believe Dr. Bawumia has done extensive tour of the various regions and constituencies, and he's spoken to those who will be voting to decide who must lead the party as flag bearer. And so if he's done his homework well, then whether it is decentralized or centralized will be inconsequential in determining anyone's electoral fortunes in this particular exercise.
Professor Ransford Jampo, thank you for your time and thoughts as always. He is a professor of political science at the University of Ghana. We are staying on the party, the New Patriotic Party. So like Evelyn Tingma indicated, the meeting is still ongoing. We'll try and get the latest. Hopefully before the bulletin ends, we'll get an update for you. However, we want you to understand how many people make up or which people constitute the special electoral college that will be voting on August 26th. So these are the groupings within the party that make that composition. We have the National Council, the National Executive Committee, the Regional Executive Committees. Then we have the National Council of Elders, members of Parliament. So all members of Parliament are part of this special delegates. Then we have past national officers who have served the party in various capacities. Also, we have 3 representatives each from every external branch. So there are branches in the US, the UK, Ireland, around the world. 3 reps will come from there. Founding members, during when the party was registering with the Electoral Commission, also have a vote. And then all New Patriotic Party card-bearing ministers or those who've been appointed by the president who are card-bearing members also have a vote when it comes to the Special Delegates Congress. Every individual has just one vote. And you know that the party leadership are also saying that they are revising the party's register, which will be used in the election. Hopefully by a close of this week, that new register should be ready because some persons have died and they are being taken out of the register. Details, subsequent bulletins, surely.
And away from the NPP, the National Association of Graduate Teachers, NAGRAT, is demanding the reinstatement of the interdicted headmistress of the West Africa Senior High School over unauthorized collection of fees from students. At a news conference in Accra, President of NAGRAT, Angel Kabonu, blamed the Ghana Education Service for not ensuring adequate supplies to schools to keep them running.
A press release issued by the Ghana Education Service directed that the headmistress, Shine Agato Fori, hands over the administration of the school to the Regional Director of Education.
In the case of West Africa Senior High School, it is parents themselves, through the ingenuity of the president of the PTE, that identify problems in the school and then they decide to levy themselves. The only problem for the investigation that I have carried is that it is the assistant headmaster who gave his Momo number to be the conduit through which the monies are paid. The investigation should rather go into what is the money collected used for. Is it used for the consumption of an individual, or it is for the purpose that will enhance the education of the students? If it's for the purpose that will enhance the education of the student, it tells you that there is government supply deficit that created the vacuum for the need for these monies to be collected to fill that deficit.
Until final determination of the case by the Regional Disciplinary Committee, she will be barred from any official duty regarding the school.
Sometimes I also blame the heads. They are too enthusiastic to ensure that there is education for the students. I will advise, in the current situation, the head of the school should also stay aloof. Maybe they are not staying aloof enough for the government to see that there is a problem. They are being moved by the need to provide good education, and they take actions that will get them in trouble. We are calling for the reinstatement of the headmistress of West Africa Secondary School, because the problem is bigger than the incident that occurred in West Africa Senior High School.
This is not the first time the GES has undertaken such action against heads of second cycle institutions. Earlier this year, the headmaster of Ijai Senior High School in Sekandi, Kenneth Agbomaji, was interdicted for allegedly charging illegal fees. He was reinstated after a committee tasked to investigate the case cleared him of any wrongdoing.
Let's speak to Dr. Peter Partianti. He is Executive Director of the Institute of Education Studies. Thank you so much for your time, Doc. Exactly, this is not the first time that the Ghana Education Service is sanctioning heads of second cycle institutions for their allegedly collecting illegal fees. Does this suggest to you that there is a bigger problem in our second cycle institutions, or should just be made as scapegoats?
Thank you very much, and good evening to your viewers. Yes, I think that we all know that the financing our secondary education is going through serious challenges. Unfortunately, a lot of us who have raised these issues have not gotten the needed support from the authorities, and that is why some of the headmistresses and headmasters and school authorities are finding ways and means to ensure that they are able to still sustain the kids and provide them with the needed kind of education that they need. Unfortunately, the managers of our education do not appreciate these gestures, these innovative ideas and ways of solving the problems, and therefore they always see these as an illegality, and that is why since the inception of the free SHS, some heads have found themselves in this situation. Some were interdicted and later demoted, and the current situation that we are having now is an indication that the leaders or the managers of education still don't believe that there should be ways and means to solve the challenges that confront the running of our senior high schools by the various authorities in those schools.
Can they really be blamed for this, especially when they are trying to fix a problem that government or authorities have shied away from fixing?
Yes, you know, in law, they normally tell you that you look at the motive behind the action. So you look at the action and then you look at the motive. Unfortunately, the managers of our education, I mean the Ministry of Education and Ghana Education Service, do not think that way. They only look at the action and they classify the action as illegal. And when they classify the action as illegal, they would embarrass you. They would embarrass you in the public. So now the headmistress is being portrayed as somebody who is extorting money from students and going to use the money for whatever that she wants, which is not the case. So whilst the employer is not interested in the motive of taking an action, what you as a headmaster or headmistress needs to do is also to ensure that you don't put yourself in a situation whereby you would be embarrassed in the public domain. So I'm thinking, and I'm tempted to agree with Angel, that headmasters and headmistresses should maybe sit aloof and watch the case go through the challenges that they are going through. Maybe I'll move a step further and suggest that in cases where they think that the challenges are overwhelming, they think that they are having sleepless nights over the lack of resources in their school, they should release videos, audios, pictures in the public domain. That would yield better results than they going the illegal way in the mind of GES and Ministry of Education, so that they don't get themselves embarrassed.
Yeah, just before you go, does this reignite calls for us to have a stakeholders meeting to relook the free SHS policy?
Exactly. I think that call is long overdue. I think that particular decision would have to be taken. Unfortunately, we don't seem to have the ears and attention of the powers that be. And one of the ways that we can now get the attention is to get school authorities, I mean, headmasters and headmistresses of these senior high schools, to now find ways and means of releasing videos of the challenges that they are going through. Imagine within one day, 50 videos from 50 secondary schools are released where students are sleeping on the floor, where they are not getting food to eat, where there are no chairs in the school, where there's lack of water, where the food is not good. 50 of these videos in the public domain. It will trigger a very important conversation in the topmost level of our education. And I think that is the way the headmasters and headmistresses should be going from now onwards, so that they don't get embarrassed.
Doc, thank you so much for your time. And Dr. Peter Partianti is the Executive Director of the Institute for Educational Studies.
On to some other stories this evening. Chief Executive Officer of the National Food Buffer Stock Company says the company will still work with suppliers without victimization after full payment of their arrears. Hanan Abdul Wahab is confident the full payment will be made by August 17. George Quinning reports.
One of the major stakeholders, the National Food Buffer Stock Company, responded for the first time after a series of agitations by members of the Food Suppliers Association. According to the Chief Executive Officer, it is the very first time payment has delayed since 2017, when the company started doing business with the suppliers.
So far, we have given them a business that we have paid on of 2.7 billion Ghana cedis. So 203 million Ghana cedis shouldn't be something that is going to, destroy the relationship.
Hanan Abdul Wahab says the picketing is not what has triggered the payment, but the introduction of a new system that requires reconciliation and validation.
My personality was taken on, but as a leader, it's all good. But trust me, I don't hold anything against any supplier, and we can continue to have the relationship. The path is not rough; it's still smooth.
He clarified the exact arrears.
What we actually owe suppliers out of the 273 is 203 million. And don't forget that buffer stock itself is the biggest supplier. We cannot add whatever government owes us to the media.
He further debunked allegations of receiving a total of 480 million cedis from the Education Ministry between 2021 and 2023 to settle the company's debt rather than those of the suppliers.
The entire free senior high school feeding budget is far more than even 418 million. So clearly it is not the right figure, and we haven't taken every single money taken from Ministry of Education is used to pay suppliers. And if we had received that money as the press release sought to portray to the general public, then why is government releasing money now for us to pay suppliers?
Currently, suppliers are taking their checks. As at the time that this report was filed, about 70 of the 228 suppliers, had been given their checks, according to the CEO of the company. By the close of the day, he's sure all 228 would have been given their checks. But what is the reaction from the suppliers?
Oh, 1 year fine, sir. You say you're the cat, and I score most of what the Bamayan. Near say 2022 and 2023, and a mobile half, a mobile half.
I am not satisfied with the payment. We thought we would be paid half of the 2-year arrears, but we are only paid half for 2021. It can't pay anything. The funds are meager, so we are not satisfied. We'll return on August 17 for the balance. We don't even know what to tell our creditors.
Some of the suppliers are not pleased about turn-off event. They are so surprised to see some new faces who did not partake in the picketing, but showed up during the day of payment.
All of us cannot be here. Definitely, others would have to fight for the rest. So at the end of the day, our goal has been achieved. And then even though they've not paid everything, at least we've received something.
If the words of Hanan Abdul Wahab and that of the Agric Minister are anything to go by, then by August 17, suppliers would have been paid the balance of the arrears. George Quenin, TV3 News, Accra.
In more news tonight, the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei-Owusu, says the 8th Parliament is the worst in Ghana's history and not helpful. Joseph Osei-Owusu indicated that backbenchers in Parliament are now taking over the role of leaders in the House. The minority is, however, calling his bluff.
We have decided to do politics rather than business. I'm saying it, that this equal number of parliament had brought the worst in MPs. I've repeated it, I will repeat it again. This parliament, 8th parliament, has made the least number of laws. We have not cooperated as we did in the past. In my 15 years in parliament, there was not one of consideration time that we had more than 30 people in the chamber. But we have cooperated over the years because we understand the challenges. First, that business called consideration is very boring and it is very technical. So it's only a few people who got used to and learned over the years who were often in the chamber. When I joined, they used to call it delete and insert. When it gets to delete and insert, many people leave the chamber. But we never used the absence of our colleagues from the chamber to defeat the purpose and the substance and the work. Today, young people are in control. They look at things differently from the rest of us. So it is good for them. Even when their leaders agree to do it, check out, it's always people from the backbench who come to raise these issues, not the leaders. What it means is that, indeed, at this time, in the Parliament of Ghana, leaders don't have control.
He shouldn't be frustrated. He should just bring at least 92 of his members and we'll do business.
He also threatened that if you continue like this, when the tables turn, you also face the same fate. What do you make of this?
Well, whether the table turn or not, the constitution will remain the same. Even if the table turns, the constitution will require 92 members to be in the chamber to form a decent quorum to do business. But we still remain committed to our statement that in light of this persecution, no cooperation from us.
You're still watching News 360 on TV3. Stay with us. Business with Michael Ogbudu is right after this.
and gentlemen, we're going to demonstrate to you the superior properties of Flamingo paint as compared to other paint brands on the market. We take equal quantities of Flamingo paint and this ordinary paint. We then dilute them with water. And now, let the test begin. The gentleman on the left is going to apply the ordinary paint, and the gentleman on my right will use the Flamingo superior paint. As you can clearly see, Flamingo has the obvious better hiding. Furthermore, Flamingo has painted a much larger area. You know, one bucket of Flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint is made with superior formulation to give superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN just for you. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Choose SUCASA for the highest quality, luxurious townhouses in East Lagoon Hills. 2, 3, and 4 bedroom in a gated community starting at $40,000 in Accra, Ghana. SUCASA, building on trust.
Whenever you fly to space or take your first step as baby, SoftCare always stays with you.
New SoftCare Space Series is rooted from space technology. Keeps you dry and comfortable for 12 hours long. Offers you the most effective protection during your space journey.
SoftCare. Protect your leap.
Are you tired of struggling with bad financial situations? At Quick Credit, we understand the difficulties that come with transitioning to a better one. That's why we're here to simplify the process for you. With loan facilities from 1,500 cedis upwards, all you have to do is call and we will take care of the rest. All you need is your national ID. No savings, no collateral, no susu, no deposits, and no account opening required. Quick Credit has you covered. Whether you're expanding a business, starting a new one, facing an emergency like school fees or funeral expenses, or even just in need of a salary loan. What are you waiting for? Call Quick Credit today. 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. We do not give loans via the internet. Quick Credit is regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit. Lending made simple.
Who don't like chop money? Daywa Chop Money is here! Collect your chop money every morning at 8:30 a.m. by simply dialing *446# and select option 2 to play Daywa 539 Chop Money. Win 40 times your stake with Direct 2, 400 times your stake with Direct 3, and 20 times your stake with Direct 1. You can also pay your numbers to win big. You only pick your numbers from 1 to 39, so winning is easy. Win every day with Daywa 539 Direct, the only lottery that offers you the best chances of winning. Collect your chop money every morning into your mobile wallet. Dial *446# to play Daywa 539 Chop Money now. Daywa,
The business segment is brought to you by MTN, Pepsodent Charcoal and Pepsodent Herbal.
Welcome back to News 360. Time now for business. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Martin.
All right, so what's happening? What's coming up?
You know, media budget review is around the corner.
Yeah, next week, right?
And World Health Organization says COVID is over.
Oh.
AGI wants COVID levy scrapped.
Okay, give us the details.
Sure thing. Good evening. Welcome to the business segment on News 360. My name is Michael Obodu. The Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, has called on the government to scrap the COVID-19 health recovery levy ahead of the media budget review on July 25, 2023. Amidst the WHO's declaration of the pandemic's end, the AGI is questioning the levy's relevance. The COVID-19 health recovery levy was introduced in March 2021 as a 1% levy on the supply of goods and services in Ghana, as well as on imports.
The levy is intended to raise revenue to support the government's COVID-19 response. The levy has been controversial since its introduction. Some businesses and individuals have argued the levy is a regressive tax that disproportionately affects the poor. However, with the announcement by the World Health Organization of an end in the pandemic, many insist the levy has outlived its purpose and must be scrapped.
We still continue to pay COVID-19 fine. We understand why it was introduced, and we thought that it has served its purpose. We are at that stage where there's no sunset clause on the COVID-19 fund. It is important that they put timeline on this fund, and our expectations are that they terminate the implementation of these COVID-19 funds.
The Association of Ghana Industries has also called for some reliefs for pad producers in the country.
Manufacturing sandpaper locally is becoming very expensive because of all of these taxes you need to pay on the raw materials. And so we're asking for government to take off all of these levies so that it becomes easier and cheaper to import the raw materials.
With the country's economy in dire straits and government's pressing need for revenue, the question still remains if it will remove levies that appear to be bringing in some income. Michael Obodu for 3 Business.
Meanwhile, economists with the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfred Bobkin, among other policy reforms, is expecting government to scrap the COVID-19 levy and the e-levy. He was speaking on the sidelines of the Deloitte Economic Dialogue, which focused on the upcoming mid-year budget review.
I'm expecting that government will look at the VAT decoupling. We should merge the standard VAT rate with the straight levies and peg it at below 18%. And then the shortfall, we should close that through greater administrative and compliance, including the e-VAT and the rest of them, and we should empower the GRA with the necessary political will to do that. Then I'm expecting that the COVID health levy will go. I'm also expecting that e-levy will go. It will make the government unpopular, but that is what it means to listen, because the digital economy is emerging. We need to oil that sector, and the e-levy is not the way to go, because if you put all of that, the consumption-based taxes is just too much. The inequality worsening effect and the poverty enhancing effect of this consumption-based tax handles is too much.
Director of Research at the Institute for Economic Affairs, Dr. John Kwache, has suggested the Bank of Ghana gradually raise its forex cover for the cedi to 70% in the next 3 years. This, he noted, will help strengthen the cedi. Dr. Kwache was speaking at a workshop on the country's 17th IMF bailout by Economic Governance Platform, recommending the formation of a currency board to address this challenge.
We should try and match our forex reserves with the cedis that we have issued. In fact, there's a provision in the Bank of Ghana Act that says that the Bank of Ghana must cover the cedis it has issued in the economy by at least 40% of foreign exchange. We think that, you know, this floor, foreign exchange cover, should be increased over time to say 70%, maybe over 3 years. That will help, you know, to strengthen the cedi. Currency board covers its local currency issue 100% with foreign exchange, and that is why, you know, in currency board systems, the exchange rate does not depreciate. So we are calling on the Bank of Ghana to gradually increase its foreign exchange cover for the cedis.
Graphic Business and Ghana Insurance Association are hosting a 3-day fair to enhance insurance education in the country. Representatives of 16 insurance companies are participating in the second edition of the show.
The second edition of the Spotlight on the Insurance Industry in Ghana Fair commences on July 20 at the Accra Mall Food Court. Representatives from 16 insurance companies will showcase marine, aviation, travel and property policies, educating the public on various policies and services.
When people are informed, they make better decisions. When people know, they would ask better questions. So our collaboration is essentially aimed at enabling the Ghana Insurance Association and its membership to put forth the requisite knowledge.
The second vice president of the Ghana Insurance Association, Mabel Nananya Kwapobli, encouraged Ghanaians to make insurance a lifestyle.
As you're planning for when something will happen, you must think of insurance and put that in part of your financial plan. When you're investing, think about insurance as a way of investing, because you are investing those premiums for that lump sum when something happens.
The acting commissioner of the National Insurance Commission, Michael Kofi Ando, is confident such events would improve insurance penetration.
Let's bring to the fore the kind of solutions that insurance has. It is not that the insurance penetration is low, the insurance culture is not where we want it to be. It is not because people don't need it. It is because there seems to be a gap in the knowledge and the awareness.
Well, that will be all for the business segment here on News 360. For more business stories, please visit our website, 3news.com. My name is Michael Obodu. Thank you for watching. As always, please stay safe. Up next is sports.
You are your own person, unique, one of a kind, special. That's why you deserve everything tailored to suit your particular taste, your preference, your needs. Just like MTN Just For You. You can get customized offers tailored to who you are. Dial *141# or use the MyMTN app to get to choose from a variety of offers made just for you.
Why burden yourself to build when you can buy ready-to-move in 3-bedroom executive houses located at Tema Community 25, built with the finest building materials and supervised by top-notch professional architects with flexible payment terms? Welcome to a breathtaking development from Selma Court, located at Tema Community 25, just about 55 minutes drive from Kotoka International Airport. This ready-to-move in 3-bedroom development comes with beautifully fitted kitchen, spacious dining hall and master bedroom and large sitting area next to the guest washroom and spacious compound. We give you a whopping 20% discount if you reserve before 30th September 2023. You can reserve with as low as $5,000 Ghana cedis equivalent. Don't miss out. Grab this opportunity to be your own landlord today by calling our hotline on 0249 399 932. or visit our website on www.selmacourtghana.com for further information.
Pepsodent introduces charcoal and lemon essence. The unique combination of natural essences whitens teeth naturally for you and family because every smile matters. New Pepsodent Herbal. Introducing a unique combination of herbal extracts in an antibacterial toothpaste for strong teeth and healthy gums that protects your family and you. Every smile matters.
Many people think I get whatever I want because I'm a popular actress. But no, that is not true. Me ankasano, adebia mi yebiano, me shishimpe papano. And when I find it, I stick to it. My shishimenya Bell Pack tissues. Bell Pack ewe tea roll. Bell Pack tea roll. Soft but not weak. Strong but not hard. It is smooth. Me yusua me hot tummy. It's just perfect. Same as the kitchen towel. What about what? What me the papaye? What me soaki? Echimu esa pepa. One Bell Pack kitchen towel lasts longer and saves you money. It's time you switch to Bell Pack today. Say here pocket tissue, table napkin, tea roll, and a kitchen towel. Bell Pack is simply the best. It's just perfect.
Nothing feels so good like Bell Pack.
Sports segment is brought to you by Bell Pack Tissues.
Welcome back to News 360, and Real Kwampofo is here with us for the latest in the world of sport.
Yeah.
And the latest news is that
signed, sealed,
Manchester United, we've done business. Give us the details. Yeah?
Well, thank you very much, Martin. And as rightly mentioned, Manchester United have completed the £47.2 million signing of goalkeeper Andre Onana from Inter Milan. Contract with the option of a 12-month extension. The former Ajax keeper is set to join up with the Manchester United squad on their pre-season tour of the United States. Onana will replace David De Gea as United's first-choice keeper, with the Spaniard having left in July when his contract expired after 12 years at the club. The goalkeeper said in a statement, "I will now give everything to create my own legacy in the coming years. I'm excited by the opportunity to work again with Erik ten Hag." Well, there's a reason Manchester United really wanted Andre Onana and no one else. He is one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in world football right now. And Black Queen's goalkeeper Cynthia Conlon reveals her coach has been sending her videos of the Champions League finalists.
It's like happy to watch and pray to God, oh, one day I would like to be like this person, just like Onana. I like the way he is. I think that is what my new coach wants. He has been sending me videos of Onana since this is how I want us to play this season. Then he was like, I love watching Onana's game because sometimes you see him going deep into the middle. You think he's maybe a defender also. He will push his defenders back then. He's good because he's good with their feet. So it's like, since this is how I want us to play and I know you can do it, so we need to work towards it. So I think.
Well, still at Manchester United, and Bruno Fernandes has been named as new captain of the club, according to a statement released by the English side. Fernandes wore the armband in the prolonged absence of Harry Maguire last season, and the defender revealed over the weekend that he has been stripped of the captaincy. The Portuguese midfielder has scored 64 goals and provided 54 assists in 185 games for the Red Devils since joining in 2020. Well, to some more stories where Premier League clubs have been active in the transfer market, especially today with Everton, Newcastle and Aston Villa inching closer to their top targets. Here's your 3 Sports transfer wrap for today.
Everton have reached an agreement with Villarreal for the signing of Danjuma on a season-long loan which expires in the summer of 2024. Danjuma is expected to complete his medical in the coming days. England winger Harvey Barnes has completed his medical with Newcastle following a transfer from Leicester City. Leicester is expected to receive £38 million from Everton for Barnes. Saudi side Al Ahly are in line to complete the signing of French winger Alain Saint-Maximin from Newcastle. The deal is expected to take place as soon as the transfer of England winger Harvey Barnes to Newcastle is completed. Aston Villa are edging closer to a deal for French winger Moussa Diaby. Diaby favours a move to the Clarets, who are set to pay a fee in excess of €50 million to Leverkusen for his services. Wolves have completed the signing of Matt Doherty from Tottenham on a free transfer after departing Molineux 3 years ago. A 31-year-old failed to establish himself in North London, and the second spell at Wolves looks favourable for the Irish footballer. Crystal Palace are confident of retaining the services of Wilfried Zaha should they meet the demands of the Ivorian. Zaha's contract ended on June 30 this year, but is closer to making a return to Palace as the club looks to offer him a competitive project.
We'll continue to bring you updates in the transfer window, which seems to be heating up with a number of weeks still to go. My name is Ore Kwampofo, and that's how we wrap up the sports segment here on News 360. Up next is entertainment right after this break.
Water is life. Water gives life. Water moves through nature in a never-ending cycle. Observe the beauty of water as it flows all around us. refreshing and restoring. Gaze in wonder at the stillness and beauty of nature. There's harmony in nature everywhere around. Water revitalizes the body and keeps you going strong. Water is life. Water gives life. Drink Awake Purified Drinking Water. One for life. So relax and unwind, and in the calmness of nature, find the rest you desire. For every bottle of Awake you buy, an amount to be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center. This advert is at here.
Kwame Musa was Sembiansa. Mon networks are use no. I'm praying and I'm recharge ya. Munyam faso everyone so. Mabwa, Capre, wait. And that's what you madi. Muntian Kabo di through. Vodafone say every Sabre a Brebia Uber recharge from 5 cities El Cobiano. Assigned with seeking up to 20% amount back cash. Our Vodafone cash so. It shock you? What did you hear say? Uber recharge. Say my Vodafone app. Vodafone cash. Credit transfer. Short code. Emubia. Urodia.
Top up your airtime with 5 Ghana Cedi or more in Vodafone's double promotion and receive up to 20% of your money back straight into your Vodafone cash wallet. Recharge and cash out in the Vodafone double promotion. Vodafone, further together.
Entertainment news segment is brought to you by Awake Purified Drinking Water, GTP Life Styled, Vodafone, further together, and powered by 3 Entertainment.
Time now for the latest in the world of entertainment with a lady in black coming to talk about Blacko. Anita.
That's a bar, by the way. Yeah, I think Portia should look into a bit of rapping so that,
Anita, over to you.
All right, my name is Anita Ikia Ikufu, and like Portia rightly mentioned, we're talking about Black Sheriff, and cruise advisor at your cruise people, Daniel Vanderpoel, has detailed the series of events that led to the invitation of Ghanaian musician Black Sheriff to the police headquarters. And in an interview with 3 Entertainment, he lamented how unprofessional Black Sheriff's management has been. However, he says he would not entirely blame the musician.
This is what we did. We involved very notable people to reach out to Black Sheriff's team. All of them, they turned down. Grams Morgan, Grammy Award winner, was in Ghana, reached out to Black Sheriff's manager, Aubrey. Nothing came out of this. Baba Sadiq, who has a very good relationship with them, we involved him. Nothing happened out of this. We reported officially this case to the police, and they picked up a phone and called his manager, Aubrey. He said, we were in a meeting, we'll get back to you. Never responded to the police call. I mean, we wrote to the CID and petitioned them that we think that a fraud is being perpetrated here, and for that matter, they must investigate it. If they did not see any merit in the documents that were produced, I don't think that they would have gone to the extent of securing not just a normal arrest warrant, but a court arrest warrant for Black Sheriff.
Understood.
So that's where we are. Well, honestly speaking, we dealt with the Grammy Award winner last year, and it was a seamless process. We dealt with Abrantia Amati Dede, and it was a seamless process. What I have experienced with the management of Black Sheriff.
Fair.
First and foremost, they are very unprofessional. 2, they did not involve the artist in the decisions that they are taking, for which reason the artist doesn't know what is happening around him. Number 3, actions or inactions of theirs is equally binding on the artist. So out here, it may be perceived that it's the artist who has, reneged on his duties and haven't done ABC. But honestly speaking, let me speak for Black Sheriff here. He didn't see the agreement, but he was aware he had to do the video. Who was supposed to push him? It was his management. So if the management didn't push him and he had his time enjoying and doing other things, who do I blame? I blame the artist management. So first and foremost, the buck stops with the artist. However, it is the management that has to sit up and do things properly.
And you mentioned the name Stage J, and songs like Yenkonkwa, Chamilala, and several others come to mind. And today on Throwback Thursday, we caught up with a Tema-based artist who has been away for some time.
Born William Kojo Johnson, but popularly known as Stage J, his craft put him in a league of his own. About 12 years ago, when he hit the limelight with hit single Shashi Wo, Stage J became an instant household name and graced the stage of most events at the time. Songs like Yenkonkwa, Tramilala, Swe, and many more endeared him to the masses.
I'm a versatile artist. I didn't just do Azonto. I did Afrobeat, I did hip life, high life, and Azonto was there to serve the nation. So I would say I did a good work.
However, the 2012 Vodafone Ghana Music Awards Best New Artist of the Year seems to have fallen off the music radar in recent times. In an interview with You Entertainment, Stage J noted that he has been away to study the music scene for his comeback.
As we say, music is dynamic. When it changes, you also have to change yourself and change the way you do things. So I've been around. I just took a little time off to study the new music genre and also to build a strong team for my comeback. So I'm here to stay.
Back in the days, Tema was known as the hub of music which hosted big names, including Stage J. However, little can be said about this now. One thing that ruled at that time was that whole Tema vibe. The fact that, when we're talking about music, everybody mentions Tema. Do you still think that that vibe is, relevant now?
And not really, because there is growth in the I would say in our relationship. Right now, some of them are married, others have moved from Tema, they are living here in Accra and all that. But when we meet backstage or at shows, it's the same energy, yeah.
Did you guys have the chance to groom other up-and-coming artists to take up from you guys?
I would say Killbeat groomed Kim Promise, and he's serving you very good. And the likes of Kwesiata, the Donzis, and the Nankees, they have a lot of squad in Tema. There's just a new guy called Icons. He's also very good, and there are a lot of upcoming coming from Tema. So Tema is still Tema.
And that'll be all for the entertainment news segment. My name is Anita Ikuya Ekufu. Have a good evening.
Kenya's President William Ruto has praised the police for ensuring peace during recent opposition protests, but a leading rights group has described the reaction as an act of terrorism. Over the past 4 months of demonstrations, there have been several deaths, including 10 people who were shot by police last week. Local media reporting that 6 people died on Wednesday in clashes with the police. The Kenya Human Rights Commission, which is an NGO, said there was a troubling pattern to show that the police's actions and use of lethal force were premeditated. But President Ruto characterized the response as the police protecting people and property. There is no official death toll, but Amnesty International says that police have killed at least 30 people since March, when the anti-government protests began.
And just before we go, remember to brush your teeth before you go to bed this evening and tomorrow morning when you wake up from bed with either Pepsodent Cavity Fighter, Pepsodent Charcoal, Pepsodent Herbal, or Pepsodent Triple Protection. Because with Pepsodent, every smile matters.
You see, Pepsodent makes you smile all the time like Portia always does. That's it for the bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Martin Lesiedu-Date.
I am Portia Gabo. We also have Ghana Tonight at 10 p.m. with Alfredo Kanse. Have a lovely evening.
Bye.